Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the love, the support you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking about Federal Appeals Court approves injunction to block grants for Black women entrepreneurs, right? So there was a time I talked about something like this some month back about the Black woman who was in charge of this and all that. She was like, she's going to go to court, and she is hopeful that the court will grant them the loans and all that. But as of today, they they already approved injunction to block grants for Black women entrepreneurs. And like I was going through the stitches and all that, that also took me back to why they do not want to grant all this to Black women, because they know how powerful Black women are, and they know that granting loans to them and all that is more like opening more doors to their financial stability and the rest of it. That is part of the reason why they do not want to. They still want to tell you all that we are the people that rules and the rest of it. And then I want to say that most of the loans that were supposed to be given to Black people, most of you already know this. Most of the loans that were supposed to be given to Black people are being given to Asians to open stores in Black neighborhoods. And if you go around, most of the stores that you have in Black Asian stores and all that you have in Black neighborhoods, they did not even open all that with their money. It was grants given to them by the government to go to Black community and establish. They have the reason why they set that up, because they still want to keep ripping Black people and keep Black people where they have been. And they do not want to see any development going out through Black community. Why did they not have all those in their own community? Because they said, no, we got to push you all to Black community so that Black dollars does not spend a minute in their community and all that. That's why I've been screaming this, and I will keep screaming it. Look for a Black-owned business. If you really have to patronize them, so that the dollar that is circulating can stay back in Black businesses and the rest of it. I am rolling this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. So straight up, let's get into it.
Federal Appeals Court approves injunction to block grant for Black women entrepreneurs. A U.S. federal appeals court has granted a conservative group's request to temporarily block a Black-owned venture capitalist firm from awarding grants exclusively to Black women entrepreneurs. Okay, let's talk about it. Because surprise, surprise, it's the American Alliance for Equal Rights that started this whole motion for an injunction on Saturday, which temporarily halted the Fearless Fund, a Black women-owned venture capitalist firm, and its foundation from awarding its Fearless Drivers grant exclusively to Black women. If you remember, the American Alliance for Equal Rights is the same group led by the same white man that used Asian American citizens as their Trojan horse to go through and dismantle affirmative action in education. So now that you have some of the facts and context, let's talk about it. Now, y'all remember when Roe v. Wade got overturned, and a lot of women helped that happen, by the way, white ones specifically. We had this conversation afterwards, and Black women were screaming from our rooftops that this will be the trickle down that leads to other people losing their rights. And y'all told us that we were crazy. Black women, remember when we told y'all that when y'all were comfortable with trans people, trans children, and trans women having their right to bodily autonomy stripped away from them, that this would lead to other things, and more conscious people like myself and others were telling you that you cannot be comfortable with this injustice because an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere? But y'all said we were crazy. What we are seeing now is a consequence of y'all actions. This is what happens when you are comfortable with people having their rights stripped away because you do not agree that they deserve to have what they have. Especially when the thing you're arguing against them having is basic human rights. Because while y'all are out here debating back and forth about who can say cis or wear box braids, the white men are out here creating groups that claim to be for equal rights but seem to only be taking rights away from black people. And I'm gonna tug on y'all white girls tape-ins for a minute as well. Because don't get it twisted. Y'all watching black women have things taken away from us because we are black won't spare you when these men come for your things because you are a woman. And I know y'all see them coming because you're really mad about how they're coming for no-fault divorces. Y'all see that these men are really trying to put y'all right back into that enslaved position. You know, the one that you were comfortable other people being in, just not you. Oh, and y'all kangs out here, don't get cocky. Because I know y'all are still pressed ever since Goldman Sachs was out here running us some coins as black women entrepreneurs. But let's just be clear. Your United Negro College Fund is in jeopardy. Your NAACP awards are at risk. Don't play yourselves. You're still a... White men in America know that they have never been at an advantage unless they put other people at a disadvantage. They are not trying to even the playing field so everyone has an equal shot. They are just putting everyone back underneath them so that they can be the only ones that make it across the finish line. While white men are using their power and influence to maintain their position at the top, black men are out here fighting with you as black women over a table and what you bring to it that they can't afford either way. And white women are still expecting you to serve them first at your table before you have anything for yourself. Black scholarships are at risk now. HBCUs even existing could be at risk now, even though they only exist because y'all didn't let us into white institutions. Like the audacity of white men in America to say that they are promoting equality by denying people the right to things that they have anyway. Like, mark my words. Mark my words. This is going to go through, and it is going to create a precedent for these people to stop all minorities, BIPOC people from having anything, women from having anything, disabled people from having anything, unless they want us to have it. Much like a slave master.
This is racism. I know we talk about racism a lot, but this is really true systemic racism. This is the Fearless Fund run by black women for black women. Their aim is to fund black women startups and get them off the ground. However, a federal court just took their ability away to fund black women's businesses. They calling it reverse racism. You know they're calling it reverse racism. 3 quick stats. 90% of businesses backed by VCs, which is what these women are, 90% of those businesses fail. We're talking about typically tech companies, tech startups who receive millions of dollars. They fail. Over 85% of the money awarded to startups from VCs go to white men. That's fine. That's cool. That's cool. No, that's cool. That's completely fine, right? While those numbers are staggering, less than 2% of VC-backed funds go to black-founded startups. So if you needed an example of how racism is still prevalent today, true racism, the systemic kind, this is it. A federal court has said, nah, y'all gotta chill on giving out the money to black businesses. You can't do that. Somebody in this comment section too said that this is a modern day version of them burning down Black Wall Street, and I couldn't agree more. This is why I asked y'all to invest in Blind Fam. I'm not still prevalent today. True racism, the systemic kind.
Oh, y'all not gonna like this, but we did this to ourselves. This is almost no different than how redlining was for white folks. We push laws against discrimination based on race and gender, and now those laws are working against us. The difference between those VCs that give predominantly to white males is that they don't say we're only giving to white males. It's not in a business plan what they're promoting. They just only get to white males. But the moment we went, this is a fund by black women for black women, we made it based on race and gender. When we could have just been quiet and just did the same thing. It's like we went, y'all, the way y'all play the game is wrong. So we made rules against playing like that. But now to catch up, we want to play by those same rules. We said those rules were wrong.
hurdle for Black women-owned businesses to overcome when it comes to securing business funding and grants, but we will prevail. Let me update you on what's been going on with the Fearless Fund. So a federal lawsuit was brought to the Fearless Fund claiming that it was racially exclusionary based on the fact that it provides grants and funding to businesses that are 51% Black women-owned. Now, we know that statistically, Black-owned businesses and Black women-owned businesses receive less funding, and historically in this country, Black-owned businesses have always received less. So Fearless Fund won the first round, but they appealed. And so now the Fearless Fund is being prevented from delivering the grants for Black women-owned businesses until the completion of this lawsuit and trial. But we will prevail. Continue to support the Fearless Fund. Continue to be an amazing Black-owned business and Black women-owned business, and continue to relentlessly apply for funding.
The blatant racism just oozing out of this lawsuit. It permeates it. It's literally disgusting. A federal appeals court in Georgia has ordered an Atlanta venture capitalist firm, Fearless Fund, to stop a program to help Black women entrepreneurs. Literally, this venture capitalist firm had a separate grant for Black women. And the same people who sued to get rid of affirmative action sued this venture capitalist firm, a private business, not federal. This was a private business who said, as a business, we're going to authorize our free speech in as much as we are going to grant Black women entrepreneurs funding. And because these asshole white people, conservative, Christian nationalist, extremist, racist schmazzies, are claiming that that was racist, a federal appeals court has stopped that company, private company, from releasing the funds. On Tuesday, the Alliance and Fearless met in federal court for the first time, where lawyers for the Alliance asked the U.S. District Judge Thomas Thrash to bar Fearless from enforcing a racial eligibility criteria for the grants. Mind you, this is a private fucking company. Thrash denied the motion, saying the program sends a message that Fearless wants to support Black women business owners, and that message is protected free speech. This conservative fund, like the Alliance Defending Freedom, Alliance Defending medical freedom, all the same fucking people, all dark money, and they're targeting McDonald's, Target, and Progressive. They're going after private businesses now. This is so fucking outrageous.
So this is so disturbing for so many reasons, on so many different levels. So if you're not familiar, these beautiful women right here created something called the Fearless Fund. They're out of Atlanta. They give grants and funding to female minority-owned businesses. And now a judge has removed their ability to give grants for the time being until the case is actually heard. Cannot think of his name. The same man who is basically attacking affirmative action as it pertains to colleges has sued these women for discrimination because they created a fund to help Black women fund their businesses. It is so comical simply because venture capitalist funds in this country fund less than 1% of people of color. We don't get the money, less than 1%. And it's hundreds of millions of dollars that is distributed yearly. And people of color simply don't get those funds. So these women decided to create something called the Fearless Fund to help fund businesses. And now they have been sued. And now a judge has ruled that they cannot distribute funds right now until the case is heard in court. And this is why elections matter, because presidents put judges in place. They appoint judges. Trump appointed over 200 judges in his first term. Thank God he did not get two. But this is why you have to pay attention, because we don't pay attention to the wide scope of the effect of when we are voting. So now, since a judge has ruled that these women can't fund businesses, there are businesses who need monies that they won't get them. Y'all pay attention.
there's an election coming up. I, for one, I wouldn't care who was running. Not voting for Trump. It is a no for me. A definite no. But these are the type of things that are so disheartening because we, our communities have been so far behind as it pertains to financial literacy, opportunities to get money, to open businesses. We all know that we cannot go the conventional route and walk into a bank and get a loan. Not really going to happen for us like that. And so to see these women, basically their efforts being cut because they funded thousands of businesses, you guys. You should check them out, the Fearless Fund. To see this happening is really sad and disheartening. And I feel like we have to pay attention to what's going on because money is power. Money is opportunity. And clearly they don't want us to have it. This is a blow. I hope that they win this case, but this is sad, and this is why you got to pay attention to who you vote for, because it's not just solely about presidents, but since presidents appoint judges, this is when it matters. This is when it counts. I hope and pray that this works itself out because I am a female. I am a Black-owned business. I didn't get money from banks to start my business, but I know a lot of women who have struggled to get monies to start businesses, and to see them take this away from the thousands of women that have already been helped when we don't get any of the money anyway from venture capitalists nor traditional banks. It's disgusting. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention.
Brand, I don't know if you heard about this Fearless Fund and their legal battle, but the federal court just appealed and blocked this grant specifically for Black women entrepreneurs. Yeah. It's danger afoot. I know about the Fearless Fund, obviously, because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a Black woman. And the fund is literally there to help Black women businesses that are seeking investments and financial backing. The same haters that was instrumental in destroying the provision of race-based diversity in the affirmative action are the people behind this entire lawsuit against the Fearless Fund. They were awarding small Black-owned women businesses $20,000 in grants, which is monumental. What's wild is that this is not like, there are many of scholarships and grants that are specific for Black people, Black women, and you know how it goes. You know how it goes, man. Originally, the judge voted in favor of the Fearless Fund, and these hating ass haters went and asked for an appeal. In a 2-1 decision by the Atlanta-based 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, they have now blocked the program, writing that it is racially exclusionary and substantially likely to violate a federal law prohibiting racial discrimination in contracting. Literally, why aren't y'all just leaving us alone? Why can't y'all just leave us alone, for real? But this is a person or organization that is hell-bent on making sure that the advancements of Black people that we have worked very hard to is just continuously undone. They were really strong in this case that helped take out vital component of the 1965 Voting Acts, right? Because controlling who votes and who gets access to money is how you control the people. Just overall, I want to say that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because finally now that Black women are in a power position where they can financially help.
So this is all I got from the stitches, and actually I think I once talked about this before. I think month ago when they already when they filed for the, when they took this case to court, and now they already said that they wouldn't be giving Black women loans and all of that. Number one is that they actually know what they are doing, because they know that giving Black women loan, it's more like, opening more financial breakthrough and all of that for them. And number two is that most of the loans that were supposed to be given to Black community or Black women, but let's say Black community in general, because a lot of Black people want to start business, and each time they apply for loan and they don't grant them the loan. Why? Because most of the loans that were supposed to be given to Black people are being given to Asians. If you notice, it is almost impossible for a Black person to get a loan. I mean, it takes a lot of time, or you never even get to see it, or it never happened, right? Most of the loans that were supposed to be given to Black people are being given to Asian community. That's why if you look around, there are so many Asian stores. Most those stores that are there, where some of them did not even open it with their own money. It is the grant the government get them to open the businesses around Black people, Black neighborhoods. Why? Because they actually also do not want them in their own neighborhood. So they push them, give them loans to open, like, establish in Black community. Number one is that they know what they are doing. Number two is that it is more like a strategy to keep Black people at a space or at a place. I mean, you all already know how they are kind of scared about being the minor and all that. That's why sometimes when you talk with them, they'll be like, why are you treating me like a minority? So they know that there is how they treat the minorities and all that. So all this they are doing, it's all rooted in them not wanting Black people to excel, not wanting Black people to be better than them, not wanting Black people to be ahead of them. So for the I think there was a man that said, why is it that Black women are just the only ones, like, applying for loan just for only Black women? I mean, you all as men can also go out and do your own. It got nothing to do with a discrimination or something. I mean, there is I don't know, like where I come from, they have men group, they have women, like, and things like that. So for women to decide that, like, this is just something we need to help their, women with and all that, I don't think there is anything wrong with it, and there is nothing like discrimination or segregation or something about it. It's okay, as long as, I mean, a wife can also give for his husband and all that. It's not about I mean, trying to, like, jam heads together in order to, like, create problem where there is no problem. The problem right now is that they have stopped. They will not give Black women loans to establish businesses and all that, and that sucks. They know what they are doing. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. Bye for now.